You might have noticed there's a little bit of an obsession with the car at the moment. And this is it, the Jaecoo 7. In March 2026, one of these sold every 5 minutes. Whether you're skeptical about Chinese cars or you love them, one thing is for certain. It's going off. That could be because this one exists. This is the SHS. It stands for Super Hybrid System. It's a plug-in, it's electric, and it's also a petrol car. 56 miles of electric-only range, 795 miles of general everything range, and very nice seats. Oh, come and have a look at this. This is really surprising. You won't be able to hear this. This is a satisfying what's going on. Well, it's a car for everyone, isn't it? That can do almost anything at a price that even we can afford. And this one can travel to space and also come back on one tank of fuel. But are people buying it because of its cost or because of something else? It has a standard panoramic roof. It has an 8-speaker Sony sound system, an interior light pack, adaptive cruise, a 540-degree camera, and a whole lot more for £35,170. Jaecoo, because everyone loves a bargain. Or at least they did. And that was when we had someone in charge of the country who made all of our money disappear.
That's what I came into politics for.
But now we have someone else, a work-from-home government that's going to make us all millionaires.
Britain needs some wrong turns.
We might not need cars then, like this, starting at £30,000 for the petrol. In fact, we might not even need Jaecoo at all. Unless, of course, it's actually quite good. It's got the lightest steering on the planet, and I'll do that. Now I'll get to a safe bit and then I'll do a 3-point turn. So, some of that business so you can see what's going on. And you can see the outside of the car and these cameras. And this is what they call the 360 plus some, which is 540, which is here. Look, you can press that button in the middle of just stop in the middle of the road, mate. The actual word Jaecoo comes from two words. The German word for Jäger or Jäger, which means hunter, and the English word for cool. So cool hunter, that's what you are. It's a bit Austin Powers, isn't it? But look, you get to see the car and the cameras, and I get to experience the thick steering wheel. The turning circle's a bit weird. Sorry, it's not a brilliant turning circle, but there you go. Look, we're round. Thick steering, nice steering, like it. Gonna give it a 9. It's definitely on that as well. To add even more value, you know Dave, who fixes cars at the weekend on the drive opposite you, and he leaves all the parts and the car, exactly, he can't fix these. So that is why you need the 7-year warranty, which they give you. Very nice. It's a complicated thing. You need the warranty. Yeah. Sorry, Dave. Despite what you might have been told, Jaecoo is not really that new. Chery, the parent company, well, they've been making cars for 29 years. We've also been told that Chinese manufacturing is cheap and low quality, and some of it is, although this car doesn't appear to be, or is made of rice. You're not being sold a dream here. You're being sold a spreadsheet of reasons to get one. It drives in 3 ways, and the 3 ways have all got an English. None of them are Chinese. So you've got pure electric, that's very English, and then you've got series drive, which is essentially the battery being charged by the engine, which is working as a generator, but the battery is making the wheels go. And then you've got parallel, which is everything, like a proper hybrid, super hybrid, mate. 201 horsepower, 0 to 60 of about 8 seconds. So 3 driving modes, and it's quiet. It's like the perfect car, isn't it? No. For example, if you don't like these wheels, there's not a great amount of choice. You can change them, and I know why they've done that, because it does 1,000,000 miles to the gallon. But I don't know if I like them. And also, from the back of the car, the wheels look a bit thin. Speaking of size, this is the same size as a Volkswagen Tiguan, but it carries 14% less stuff. It's more expensive to insure. And what happens if something goes wrong? But first, I want to talk about the UI. First thing I'd like to draw your attention to is the themes. So this is the theme settings. So unlike some cars that are essentially just a horrible pasty white, you can have these. So I'm going to cancel. There's the wallpaper. There's the theme settings. Themes is for this screen, wallpaper is for this. You press wallpaper, it looks like a phone. Come on, look, it's an iPhone, that is. So if I select that one, that then becomes looking like that. If you then, as I've set that wallpaper, then the theme settings, can I say this? Look, what car does that look like? That looks very much like a German car that begins with Mercedes. Look at that. I like the aircon menu. That is there. Obviously, it's all controllable for a screen, which people moan about, but that hasn't stopped them buying. Here's the sound system, which is Sony. We are big sound fans here. And so I was worried because some of the cars from China with their sound systems are, I don't want to say it's really not fair, but some of them are appalling, and I expected this to be the same. This is the Sony system. It's not appalling. You press this advanced EQ. Look, you can see that. There's even a hotkey. You press that, you go, there you go, podcast. Now I can hear voices without too much EQ on, and then you can control those. I'm going to say it doesn't have a dedicated sub. It could do with one, but it's so funny because it's not funny. But it is so interesting because sometimes you can have a car with a dedicated sub and it sounds dreadful. This doesn't have a dedicated sub and it really is okay. So I think that's good. And I love the fact that you've got two screens here and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And I could probably maybe spend an hour on this. There is something as well. It's supposed to beep. It's supposed to annoy you every 5 seconds with beeping. It doesn't. That's a fib. It does, if you turn them off, then you don't hear them. The only one thing I would say is that this here, which is your stay awake and pay attention, that is very sensitive, so that does go off quite a lot. But other than that, Omoda and Jaecoo are the same company, and Omoda is supposed to be the luxury arm. It's not. This is better. Although it looks absolutely nothing like a Range Rover, why do people never mind? The parent company has actually been working alongside Jaguar Land Rover, making cars in China for more than 10 years. So have Volvo and BMW. In fact, people who buy Teslas, they want the one that was made in Shanghai. Underlining where a car is made is absolutely no bearing on whether a car is good or not. Oh, here's something in the back actually that you might want to tape up if you've got kids. It's this. Yeah, Mum, do you want me to move the seat? No, you don't? Okay, you sure? Stop it. This is how much room there is, which is a phenomenal amount of room in the back. By the way, it's got an acoustic windscreen at the front and acoustic windows on the side. Is there anything else? Well, this feels quite plush, I want to say. Whether it's cheaply made, I don't know. It doesn't feel it. This is the sort of thing you go in the dealer and you go, how much is one of these? And you're 60 or 35. Here's the thing. When you're moving backwards, there's a tiny sound. There's no songs. There's no ice cream van business going on. What I like is the suspension because you have a very soft and supple suspension on A roads. Country roads, so it's doing this. But when you get to a town or a village or most of the roads in England, it's a bit harder than, say, you can hear it in the voice even, than say a Hyundai or a Kia. But for me, I'd be doing more long journeys in this. It's very nice. Funny though, do you remember when they used to actually resurface roads? I would do long journeys in it largely because I like the seat. It's not because it's quiet, because to me it kind of isn't. Here's some audio. You see, now the petrol one might be even worse. And then you've got the auto cruise. So using my intuition, I'm just going to press the button that seems to be... No, so it's not that one. Hang on, wait. Is it the one... Oh, wait. How'd you get it to... Oh, it's on the... No, it's not on the... Now there's a finger in the lens. Oh, for... Trying to find something in here to moan about. I quite like everything in here. Light headlining. Even the way these vents move. They're damped really well. Everything is like... what I would say is squidgy, which is a technical term. The opening and the closing of the door, we've done that. The window going up and down mechanism is good. So I also like that view over there because it's quite truck-like. Head-up display, which you will see in other parts of the video. Steering wheel is good. I like the gear stick, which reminds you of maybe a Tesla, perhaps. This is good. Watch this.
Go ahead.
Open the sun blind.
Okay.
Seats, very comfortable. You've got so many different ways to move the seat. So I'm going to leave this in on purpose here. I don't know what to say, because that's me slightly being lost for words on the day. Not because I love how it looks, because I don't, but because it's good to be in and it's good to drive, which is slightly annoying because this would have been a great chance to relate to some people and give it a really good kicking. I've missed an opportunity there, haven't I? That said, not all customers who have one are delighted. Now, they say you shouldn't read too much into what you read on the internet or see, because obviously there's lots of ways in which the internet can be manipulated, but there is a review site that has some negative reviews about this car. And when I say some negative reviews, 62% of them are pretty scary stories. There's also some reports of very long waits for parts, ranging from a few weeks with the car off the road to this guy here saying his car has been off the road for 5 months. And then there's the software. Software glitches, being generally buggy. The DAB not working in some cases for some people have driven them completely mad. People are talking about the bongs. I haven't heard any bongs today. So it's very interesting, the different perspectives. And also the thing to consider is with this, in Jaecoo's defense, yes, it has been buggy, but what car that's new isn't? I think this might be one of the strangest car stories in years, right? Hear me out. No one's ever grown up with a poster of a Jaecoo on their bedroom wall, have they? And no one's ever said, you know what, when I'm successful. But here we are. One minute it's, what on earth is that? The next minute it's, why are there 7 of those in my street? And I have to be honest, I thought some of them were a bit mad, but I'm not so sure now, because price is only part of the reason why somebody buys something. We've all bought clothes from that app, haven't we? They arrive, you put them on, you laugh, and you send them back. This isn't that. And although I haven't completely made my mind up yet, they wouldn't have to pay me for me to say this was pretty good. Although if they are paying, well, we're a commercial... To say this is a phenomenon is probably a bit of an understatement, to be honest, isn't it? Because they're everywhere. Do you remember where it's a bit... we haven't seen a shift like this since the Tesla Model 3, when everybody had a Tesla Model 3. Why don't they now? Well, let's not go into it. Anyway, the Jaecoo 7 outselling everyone, doing extremely well. It's the Rubik's Cube of the car world. The question is, just like the Rubik's Cube, is it a fad or is it here to stay?